Guys, welcome back to Penguin's Garage. Today, we're going to be tailoring a trailer. We're going to get it looking its best, a little modification, a little seamstress. Yeah, let's see what we got going on. So this guy has a sand rail, and the paddle tires keep catching on these. It's got a solid C channel across the back, and then it's got a second C channel here. It does have enough support coming off the edges so far that I can see. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna choppy, and then this broke off. Don't know if you can see this. Yeah, so he's got a bolt in there. We're gonna make one of these. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So we're gonna make one of those, get rid of this, and then we are adding E-track to right here and the fender. So without further ado, let's get it, dude. Don't worry. Ooh la la. So much more room for activities. Okay guys, so both arms are cut off. I ground down the diamond plate kind of the best I could to match the pieces, but I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? Like, how much time am I really going to spend trying to recreate all these? Warned the customer about it. He's cool with it. So next step is getting the E-track in. So let's see how that's done. So what we decided on is he wanted this as far up as possible. I think that's going to look kind of silly, so let's do this. Let's cut it. Let's cut it here. Make something happen with that. Okay, so that'll work good. And then on this side, I cut it so that I left that little ear there. And that can be welded down as well. So I know he's going to use this run quite a bit. So the way that I cut it, very fillable gap right there. So I'll weld up there. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll weld that to there. We'll cut this right here and we'll weld that down as well. Alright guys, I'm going to try and show you the difference here. So let's try down here where I haven't heated it. It is not responding very well. Still a ton of paint on there. What you're trying to do is you're trying to basically cook the paint. Now, too thin of a material, you're going to run the possibility of warping it. This is pretty thick stuff, so see it's starting to boil up there. That's all starting to boil. Okay. Now, see the difference in that? So I got a little bit of work ahead of me. You can see ripped right through the paint. So I'm going to do that to all of this. Probably going to run out of propane, go get more, but I'll come back when it's time to doobly-doobly. Guys, so here it is. E-track's welded in all the way up into there. Welded the top like I said I would. Now, this stuff sucked. The paint absolutely sucked to strip down. So what I resorted to is I marked it out where I was going to do it, and then I just used this little guy here painstakingly on each one to strip down the see here. So that's what I ended up doing. Now this technically is job done. However, I texted him a picture of this to see if he wanted to do a fuel canister holder up here, and instead he wants to take this box and put it on the tongue now, which there is a winch in there and some other things. And then we have the handle of the jack that's going to bump into the box. So we have to cut the welds off of this, turn this 90 degrees, re-weld that, and then drop this box onto here. So we added a little bit of work for ourselves, but I'm here for it. So yeah, let's get to doing some actual modifications. Okay, so we got quite a bit of stuff in here. He's got this thing really set up cool. He's got 120 volt power if he needs it, a winch, a decent battery in there. It's got a whole control panel out here with like the winch controls and all this fun stuff. So yeah, and then he's got some nice lights to shine back. Unfortunately, when we do this, those lights are now going to be facing forward, and then the winch has to face backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld a plate into here, and then that plate will come up to about here, and then the winch will bolt to that. So basically, instead of mounting down, I'm going to turn it 180 degrees, or sorry, 90 degrees, and then bolt it to it that way. That way all the tension's on that. It's only a 5,000 pound winch. You know, I would think that this thing be capable of about 7 if he doubled it up, but it's just to pull a buggy on here, so it's not under a ton of stress. I think a nice 1/2 inch plate in there will be more than sufficient. So that's my plan. So I'm not going to show you guys this part, but I'm going to get this unbolted. Maybe I'll show you. Depends on how bored you want to be. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay. That's all unbolted. Let's cut these wires. There's that. There's that. And then it's clearly more holding it in. Yep, there it is. There it is. Oh, look at this. That terminal's not on there very nicely. Alright. Battery's out. That's a heavy chingus. Little chingus. Let's get this fucking winch out of here. Always gotta use the right tool for the job, guys. Always. There we go. Nice little pair of pliers. And the little bolts. Alrighty, done there. Looks like we got 1 or 2 self-tappers in here making things happen. So we got to deal with that. And then I saw a wire coming. Here it is. Comes up from the bottom, feeds over, comes over. That must be his charge circuit. Yeah, that's his charge circuit. Okay. So guys, this is going to be a great example of what happens when people typically say, you know, oh, this is going to be a simple job. It's not going to be hard. You just turn it around, put it on the tongue of the trailer. Well, there's a lot of things in here that have to get redone while doing that. So, for instance, there's a wire that goes down here that I believe is in charge of his charging circuit, which comes off the truck and charges the winch battery up, but it comes up through the floor of this box. So that means I have to take it all out, disconnect everything, redesign the winch, and then put it all back together. So not always simple. This customer understands that it's not going to be just a walk in the park, but I get people all the time that are like, oh, it's not going to take long at all. It's quick. It's easy. It's easy. I would do it, but I don't have time. It's one of my favorite things to hear. Oh, it's easy, guy. Simple. Simple. Nothing to it. Floop. Simple. Okay, let's jam this on the tongue. la 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 la. Oh no. Oh, that's gonna annoy the shit out of me. The fucking spare tire makes it so you can't square up the toolbox. Yeah, I can't let that happen. Fucking, that's right up against this panel. Well, it looks like we're moving a spare tire too, because he's got all of his switches right now. Spare tire getting put over there. This is what I'm saying, guys. This is things a lot of people don't think about. I wonder if the winch has to be in this box. I'm gonna figure some things out, guys. Let me show you what we're up against here. It'd be real easy. Mount the winch externally, not have to worry about anything in here. So I don't have to freeze up some space. However, if he wants it in there, I'm gonna have to build a plate that comes over and then up, and then I'll have to support it down kind of at an angle here as well. And then that will give me something to hold this to, and that is where my strength will come from. So let's figure out which way he wants to do this now. Okay guys, we just heard back what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do something trick here. I'm gonna make this 3/8 plate level with the deck, and I'll grind that down, weld it in there so that it comes over to here. Then we're gonna take another piece of this and we're gonna come up with it, and that's gonna give us all of our support that we need for the winch to go in there. It'll make sense as we go along. I'm gonna take some measurements, get some pieces cut. Nobody wants to see that. And then I'll show you how to make this look sick. All right, cue the welding table of doom. So what I'm gonna do, I use the plate to hold this flush with the vise. Okay, so that's nice. Now this will go here, like that, just like that. Not like anything else, but like that. Yeah, yeah. Do a little chingus in the middle here. Now, how do we square that up? We don't. We do. We don't. We do don't. We don't. Bird. Bird is the word. Bird. Figured it out. What's squarer than a square tube? A round tube. No, wrong. Okay, so there's that. That's nice. That's nice. Will hold me square. There we go. Put this in here. What I didn't do is square it like I said I was going to do, though. In theory, this is 2 and something. That's perfect. So this is 3 1/16. 3 1/8. Yeah, that ain't right. No. Yeah. Okay, so what I did, guys, is I made sure that this plate is the same length on both sides. And I was a 1/16. Well, the plate itself is great, but I am a 1/16 off. I just need to touch a tappy. All right, so that is 3 1/16 plus a little half. 3 1/16. Oh, everybody say it with me. Yes. Okay. What's cooler than being cool? Ice cool. Well, I have to say, guys. Oh, baby girl, I love the way. Nobody will ever see that weld. Ooh. We're gonna let that cool down while it's clamped to stop it from warping. I like to cool it naturally to stop it from squelching. If you squelch it, it goes. So natural cooling with no outside influences is the best. So once that's cooled down enough, we'll unclamp it, we'll spin it, we'll figure out how to clamp that, and then we'll weld the inside joint and smoke it, and then, yep, that. That is a sexy weld. Not hating it. Oh, these are such shit clamps. Guys, pony clamps? Yeah, they're trash. Okay, I'm good with that. So I welded in a couple little angles here. So that's gonna go into the trailer, weld to the trailer right here, and then this is coming up to the box. So I'm gonna kind of round this off a little bit, shape it, clean this up, and then grind this edge here, and then I'll show you what I've done on the box. Everything's a hammer. It's not a hammer unless you sing before you hit it either. You guys gotta know that. We do have another problem. This needs to be cut off, that needs to be welded on, and my welder's all the way over there. I'm too lazy to get my extension cord out, so let's play Bobcat time. I'm on the Jamaican Bobcat team. Pop, 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 pop. Zoom, zoom. Gentle. Oh. Oh. Of course, I put that fucking toolbox right where I can't see my side here. La, 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 la. I gotta cut the jack off, so might as well stop the bus and let my friend jack off. I said jack off. I think I'm gonna switch gears, guys. I'm gonna cut this jack off, and then I'm gonna jack off, and then I'm gonna get back to doing this. Wait, yeah. I don't know if you guys can see how crystal clear that is. Yep. I can't see shit. I can't see shit now, my mask is on. I ain't gonna be shit. Ow! That's hot. Shut up, Paris. Oh boy, settle down. Getting frisky. I think this is going to require a little tappy. Hiya! Perfect. Hiya! All right, so we got our plate all cut up. Now we're going to stuff it back on there. Oh yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Give me my wrench back. That's my wrench. Now we'll put this in it. Tap, tap. Oh, welded. Done. Just kidding. Settle down. Settle down. You guys didn't really think I wasn't going to check it for square, do you? Because I really wasn't. That's square. And that's square. So I'm going to weld it. Oh, that's right. You need a ground to weld. I'll figure this out eventually. That looks a little better. All right, guys, we laid down some beautiful welds. Taillight warranty on those bad girls. So now our handle does handle things. Okay, guys, I don't know at what point the camera shut off there, but we have this all welded in. It's welded top and bottom. So that's all good. On the winch, I installed little brackets in the edges, and that's to try and help with the load, because we're only going to be mounting it here and here now, so I don't want this thing to kind of pull on itself and rip itself apart. So that's going to help with that. Again, it's only a 5,000 pound winch, so it should be able to handle this no problem. I don't have a plan B on it, so it's going to handle it just fine. Ultimately, I could cut a bracket and then arch it for the winch motor, but on this side will leave us with almost nothing. As it is, I had to bevel that so that it would make it, but it wouldn't do us any good. I could put fingers down and then tie it in, but we're not going to, because it'll be just fine. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to locate this winch on my new bracket. So this is going to go here. Square it up, center it, make it look fucking bitchin'. So that's going there. Ooh, that's still warm. Plenty warm too. Ooh. Ow. I'm gonna get a bruise, and I grab it again like a dickhead. Let's measure it. It's a tooth and a little. We're good. Now we gotta find the bolts. All right, so we're gonna put our legs on this side of the bracket, and then we're gonna pull as hard as we can towards ourselves. There's that one. Nailed it. God, I'm good. Okay. Clean it up a touch. That's that. So let's drop the box back in, see where that's going to end up. Let me get the tripod over here. For those of you that don't have one, get yourself a Jeep. These things are like great for resting cameras on. Oh, that's amazing. Hated it. I did a good thing. I did a thing that's really good. Doo-da. Doo-da. Okay. So, we're where we need to be. Toolbox is in. Look at the fit up on that plate. Oh, right up against it. Looking so fly. I'm gonna punch the holes through, throw this through, see where the winch is, put some things together, and keep on cruising. Okay. Now we make sure the bolts fit. Watch them be too small. Nope, that's right. Okay guys, so we are in the process of drilling those holes for that we can connect with a cutoff wheel and make our slit. It doesn't want to play. Sucker. Okay, there's that. Sorry guys, I didn't realize I was on daylight mode there. Not much to see anyways, I'm just drilling it. Giggity. There's that. Ta-da! Okay. That's clearly dead. Oh no! Guys, check that out. That's how you do it. Now, when we put our chingus up to it, look at that. Look at that. So, I'm going to do that to the back of this box. Probably be done filming for the night. That needs to be painted. I'll probably end up getting this thing here cut off, the spare tire. And I'm not going to weld it back on until this box is on, but that might be coming to an end for the night actually. So yeah, I'll pick back up like this. Yeah, I got one other thing to show you guys. I did all this off camera because I'm so far behind on editing, it's not even funny. But I built a wall at my house, about probably where the middle of the Tacoma is. It used to slant off to the yard. So now I have 3 rows of parking. And in this wall, I installed Govee lights. These are the permanent outdoor lights. And this is the setting I have them on right now. It's called Candy Cane or some shit like that, but I'm pretty proud of this friggin' wall. But yeah, it's kinda cool. Kinda cool, kinda cool. It took me 2.5 months, or no, not 2.5, 2 months to build it because my back is so useless that I'd put down about 15-20 blocks and then I'd be down for a week, couldn't lift or move, and then I'd do it all over again. So the wall is 90 feet long. There's a full course underneath the ground, and then there's like a half a course over there. So you know, there's a lot of block that you can't even see, but yeah, looks pretty damn good. Just like that guys, it's beautiful and sunny out. So we'll get some spray on our new bracket. You can see how we have that thing. Yeah, she pretty like. So that's in there. Came back here. I got all the back sprayed. Looks pretty damn good. E-tracks laid. Ooh, girl. So, yeah, it's exactly what he asked for. We got some bar. So we can do our, we're gonna duplicate this little fella right here. So that's gonna be coming up pretty quick here. I'll show you how we bend that. And then it's time to continue on with the box. So now we're gonna get this thing final bolted into the holes that we drilled with the bolts we got. Then we'll bolt through that. The winch will suck up to it, and we'll be styling pretty quick here. Well, I was at Home Depot picked up one of these. They had it on sale for 22 bucks, so can't go wrong. Smaller angle finder than what I got. All right. Now guys, this is a desert trailer, which might not mean much to most people, but if you go to the desert, you understand that roads like Wheeler Road and some of the other ones that get you out there aren't really roads. In fact, they're straight washboards. So every one of these is going to get Loctited. Guys, it's time for a new segment. It's called Just the Tip with Nick. So I got the winch up against the housing for the toolbox chingus, and I can't get this nut inside there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue the little fucker to it. So I like to use a zip tie, and this is CA glue. You can use super glue too if you want to. I don't really think there's a huge difference, except for this dries almost instantly, and I'm an impatient person. So I start by getting the zip tie on it, and then we're going to cast that into it. Try and hold everything while it starts to bubble and set up. And then within a few seconds, we have what I like to call the zip tie nut. So, for anybody that's ever told you to stop wrapping zip ties around your nuts, they don't know what they're talking about. So I hope you enjoyed Just a Tip with Nick. So I ended up gluing the nut in there because, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's no room in there. So now the nut is glued in place. Voila. Well, Just a Tip ended as you thought. A full stroke. Let me show you how that went. Could not get that nut in there, so ended up unbolting the winch from this plate, then I bolted the plate to it, then I bolted the winch back down. So full stroke. Now we're going to cut it out for the trailer lights, and then we'll fix the battery into it and start wiring. And I believe, oh yeah, and then we get the spare tire. We have to move over there, but that's last. So what I'm going to be running is these, I think they're called Mick lights, which I believe are the knockoffs of night lights. I don't know, I have good luck with these. They're nice and bright, so this is what we're going to be using. I am going to use these little fellas here as the templates, and then we'll get it cut out and dropped in there. Let's get ourselves a little template. That way we know what to cut out and where. Ta-da! Now I can blast the center out of this. Okay. So you can see that should be the correct template. We shall see. Maybe. Oh, that is so close. So close and good. Perfect. That's how we make a template. Now let's go throw it on the trailer. Oh, that's beautiful. Now we just rinse and repeat. Hammer. Yay. Okay guys, lights are installed. Turned out pretty decent. Now we gotta do a whole bunch of wiring in here. Now, this switch right here has an open spot on it, so we're gonna be robbing power off of that. Then we're gonna feed our lights, tuck all the wires in, and reroute and re-justify this wire, which is a SO cord for something. He's an electrician, so that's probably where this came from. I'd like to welcome everybody to my box here. Now, we have a lot of excessive wire here. So we are going to fix that. See what we got going on in here. Okay, all the wires are there, and all the wires are loose and pulling out. So, pretty glad I took that apart. Let's redo all of these, just make sure they're right. I don't want this thing to go and not be okay for the customer. This kind of brings up a good point though. You know, a lot of times at the shop, I would have people come in and you guys just did a radiator in my car and now X, Y, and Z doesn't work. And I'm like, well, we weren't in the back of your car. I had nothing to do with your dome light not working. But this could have been a thing, and the customer could have been like, hey, you know, I just had all this stuff done and now my lights aren't working. So opening this up just to make sure that we don't have, you know, we have the charge wire in there and it's in this harness is the easiest way rather than cutting open the entire harness. It was a very long-winded way of saying that, and you're welcome for the extra talking. I know I don't talk enough sometimes. Sarcasm. So in the box, I haven't done a whole lot, guys. I did, you know, connect the wires to the light, and then I plugged it into the switch. Everything else in here has literally just been zip tying the wires into place. We got our winch in here. I mean, that's, you know, that's good. That's solid. Not worried about that. And then we have our battery cables ready to go, and our new charge cord is ready to go. So I'm going to get all this stuff situated. I'm going to screw the battery back into place, and then we'll be underneath, do a little wiring, and we're done. Well, guys, celebrate the wins. Don't run from the fails, right? We have a little issue. So I just cycled the winch with the lead against it, and it wasn't great. It's not strong enough. The winch moved, bent itself up a little bit, so now I gotta redesign this. My initial thought, put a bar underneath, it comes up, goes through that center bolt. I bolt all the way down with some unistrut or some with some all thread, and then we're back to being strong. But I got to do it. So I'm going to figure this out. I'll be back. Okay, guys, so here's what it's going to be. I have essentially welded a plate to the bottom. Now I'm going to weld gussets on the edges that tie everything together, make this super structural. And then from underneath the box, there's a 2-inch gap that goes to the trailer. I'm going to do spacers in there, and then just a big bolt that goes through both of them into this. So there'll be nuts on this side. Undo the nuts, the whole plate comes out. Okay, guys, here's the new bracket. I got it on the expediter to dry it. So plate goes all the way down. Now it's heavily reinforced. And then I got a little bolt that goes all the way through. I'll show you that. So let me stab this into place, and then we'll put the bolt in. I'll show you what's up. Alright, there's that. Now for the VIP, look at that. I'm going to shove old Gertha in there. No, please, it's my first time. Bullshit. So, here's what we got. There's a 2-inch piece sticking through. Goes right into the cross member. So, now we slip this onto the old first timer. And run her in there. Now we do everything we already did again, and we're back in service. So the winch is secured now. That ain't going nowhere. And yeah. Okay, so we got a new toy recently, and this is a Kaka, K-A-K-A, Kaka. So this is going to be for the rear pin. I have an inch that I need to bend. So I'm not going to measure this yet. I'm just going to kind of put it in there and then bend it. Because I want to be able to cut it to length. Oh, the caca did caca things. Look at that. That's pretty fucking clean. Alright, maybe that thing was a good investment. Here's what we're trying to mimic. I'm not even joking, guys. That's spot on. Holy shit. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here, mark this here. So now we need a hole in here for a cover pin. You understand that? There's a cover pin. Okay. I'm going to see what I have because I might actually have a roll pin, and that would be my preferred. Oh, I do have roll pins. Well, I thought I did, but I don't. But I got cotter pins, so just banged out a hole in it. That goes in. I'll spread its titties a little bit. Life will be good. So drill a little off center, but it ain't going to matter. Let's make some sparks real quick. Holds it up like he wants it, drops it down. Done.